everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about selecting a sperm donor. Woohoo! The time is near. Um, I keep trying to wrap my brain around it. I mean, I'm going through these steps. Now I have to see my fertility doctor once a week so they can check my progress, and I'm doing all these different things, and I don't know. It's just, I'm starting to pick a donor. Uh, it's moving so fast, it doesn't feel like real yet. I don't know. Anyway, but selecting a donor. So if you watched my previous video talking about seeing a psychologist, part of our conversation was selecting a donor, and she asked me, how I was going to go about it, have I considered which sperm bank, etc. And I shared with her that I was going to use the Manhattan Cryo Bank. And that's still one of the places I'm looking. However, recently I had to have my CMV status checked, and that stands for cytomegalovirus. I think that's what it is. I'll share the link to my TTC one of my TTC updates where I talk about CMV, so you can check that out. But anyway, and that basically, you can either be positive or negative for CMV, and if you're positive, then you can select any donor, whether they're positive or negative, it doesn't matter. But if you're a negative CMV status, then you can only also select negative CMV donors. So, guess who's CMV negative? Yes, me. And because I'm CMV negative, that already reduces the pool of donor candidates. And also because I'm selecting donors that are open ID, meaning that they would disclose their identity to their offspring later on, that also reduces the pool even more. So, just looking at Manhattan Cryobank, they're only I don't know, maybe 10 people to look at or to consider. And so I decided to also use other cryobanks. So I'm using the Seattle cryobank, and then I'm also looking at oh shoot, I can't remember the other one. I'll try to put them all linked down below. And two of them I've had to pay memberships for. One of them is free membership. However, the cost is way more. So for the Seattle Cryobank and the Manhattan Cryobank, it's about $640, $635 for IUI prepared sperm. And then it's about $180 for the Seattle and about $125 for the Manhattan Cryobank for shipping. And for the other one that I can't recall the name of right now, you have to pay $700 for donor sperm, and that's IUI ready, and the shipping is $225. It's a lot. However, everything is free. You can see the baby pictures of the donors, you can hear their audio interviews, you can see their full profile for free, but it is a lot more to buy from them. And I happen to really like one of their donors, so that's gonna be tough. Anyway, selection process. So yeah, the selection process outside of price is really important. So at first I was like, oh, I'm just going to pick the baby, because they give you baby pictures and profiles, I'm just going to pick a healthy donor, or a donor with a healthy family history, because they do share with you sort of a brief medical history of the donor and their family members. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to pick from like a donor who's like healthy and has a family a history of, general good health, and like cuteness, like, oh, look at how cute this kid was, so my kid could look similar. But when I started listening to the audio interviews, I really started to realize, and it kind of dawned on me that, wait a minute, I'm selecting donors who will disclose their identity, which means potentially that my kid will want to meet them. Um, and will have an opportunity to like meet and speak with them. So it's important that I kind of pick someone who's like not seemingly a, I don't want to use the wrong word, because I'm grateful that people do donate. I'm grateful, and I'm grateful that that's a service out there available to me. So I don't want to seem ungrateful. But I am in reality aware that people do this for usually the primary reason of making money. I mean, a lot of times the people donating are young college students, and I'm not sure if they think about to like, or they consider like what's happening or what would happen later in the future. I don't know if they're really like thinking about it, that, oh, I might have a kid out there, and oh, I might meet them. um so I guess it's kind of like going on a first date. They sound good on paper, but then you speak with them and you're like, ew. um and I want to pick someone that gives me the impression that they are genuine. I mean, there's no way for me to know that for sure, right? Because I don't know these people. But I want to have the impression that they're genuine, that they're open, like really have thought about it and are open to meeting a kid later on, and doing it for generally the right reasons. I know money is a factor for sure. I mean, it just is, especially for open ID. They get paid. People who donate sperm get paid a lot more money for doing the disclosure, open ID disclosure. So I am aware that people do this for money, but I want it to be someone also who seems genuine and is like, seems kind, because I wouldn't want my child to meet this person and be really like disappointed or hurt. And some people do sound a little bit cold, or like they just don't care, which is fine. Like, if you're only there for like the money or whatnot, great. I mean, but then don't do, maybe a little advice if you're thinking about being a donor, if you are just doing it for financial reasons, then perhaps don't become an open ID donor. Because some people just sounded like they weren't the most genuine. And maybe that's just the impression they gave, and of course, I could be wrong. Again, I don't know these people personally. Um, but I realized, long story longer, I just realized how important it was for me to also hear the person and like their personality on tape anyway. Like, I felt like I have to feel some sort of a connection to that donor through their responses. Even though they're all asked the same sort of like generic questions, it kind of does feel like a first date, like, ooh, what's your favorite color? Or like, what music do you listen to? I mean, who cares? But the way that they respond kind of tells you a little bit about who they are and their personality, which is really important. One guy kind of creeped me out. I don't think I should say why, just for whatever, maybe privacy. But anyway, seemed like a little bit like an American Psycho candidate. Um, anyway, so I am picking a donor, and I am getting the input of my friends and family. So right now I'm in the process of going through all of the different profiles, reading them, listening to their audio interviews, and narrowing down the candidates that I like. And so far, I think I have maybe five that I found to be like strong candidates. And then sometime this week, I'm going to sit down with a couple of my girlfriends, and they're going to help me narrow that pile down, that crew down, because I really value their opinions. I really think that they know me well and know what I'm looking for, and will give me really good advice. And I'll also, of course, speak to my mom and see what she thinks and get her opinion. Um, yeah, so that is it. So I don't know if I'm going to record any of the selection process. I don't know. I think for privacy reasons, I probably won't. At least not anything that I'll share on YouTube. But maybe I'll let you know a little bit about how it went uh, next week. All right. So that is it for me. If you have any questions about uh, my selection process and any of the sperm banks or cryo banks that I'm using, let me know down below in the comments. And I really love hearing from you. I look forward to it. You know, I get excited. I get crazy. I'm so excited, even when the comments are not always like polite. I love hearing from people and I love talking, obviously. So make sure to comment down below, like, share, subscribe, of course, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.